So this one's pretty interesting. It's not going to be a super long video, but apparently you can use other kinds of cameras on the Nintendo Switch 2. And so I wanted to test it out, and I ended up discovering something else completely, which is the fact that you can use other kinds of accessories on the Switch 2. One that I haven't seen anybody talking about. We're going to be talking about that here in this video. If you enjoy this kind of content, leave a like, subscribe for more. We've been covering a lot of Switch 2, a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a bunch of people posting about the fact that they've tried different cameras with the Nintendo Switch 2, just like normal USB webcams, and they've worked for them. And I have a USB webcam, and I tried it, and I discovered something else. But I'm gonna link down in the description below an article that I found from Go Nintendo, which basically shows someone using their iPhone. They use their iPhone as a webcam. So it took a couple different cables, obviously. They had to connect a couple different cables together, to turn it, I guess, into like a USB-C or whatnot. But again, you can see the whole article, and there's a video linked with it and all that, if you want to see that. What I do have is this. Okay, I have this little, it's like OBS bot camera or whatever. It's like a 4K USB-C camera. I don't know if you can see that. It's a USB-C camera. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it into the top of my Nintendo Switch 2. But when I do that, you're going to see something pop up on my screen, and it's not going to say that a USB-C camera was connected. It's going to say something else. Look, I'll show you. Let me go plug it in. All right, so I plugged it in. You can see the top left corner, a little pop-up just said, now using USB-C mic. So not only can you use different kinds of cameras on the Nintendo Switch 2, which would have been great to know before buying the more expensive Switch 2 version, the Nintendo branded one, but hey, it is what it is. Not only can you use that, you can use USB-C microphones. I don't know if you can use USB-A microphones. I do have a USB-C to USB-A adapter, so I could try that in a second by plugging it directly into the dock and see what happens. I actually haven't tried that. We'll try that in a second. First, let me show you the difference. So we go down to controllers and accessories. That's where we are. If we go to the bottom of this, we can see test USB-C camera. Now, if I click update Nintendo Switch 2 camera, it says no Nintendo Switch 2 camera is connected. If I test the USB camera, it says no camera is connected. So it's not registering this camera as a camera. For some reason, it's registering it as a microphone, because it does have a built-in microphone as well. I don't know why that's happening. There's nowhere else in the settings to do that. But if I go down the audio, you can see my current output and input. It says USB, and it even reads what the device is. The OBS Bot Tiny 2 microphone is what it's saying. Now, this is his output right here. But if I go down to the input, let me go down to the input. It's set to automatic, but if I go down, I can adjust and select either the system. So that's gonna be my Nintendo Switch 2 microphone or the USB. I'm gonna click system, and then we're gonna do test microphone, because basically what we can do is we can test it. It's about 4.5 feet maybe away from me, the Nintendo Switch 2 console. This is what it's going to sound like. Okay, we're just going to do a little test. It's going to get us to begin recording. So we're going to go test. Check 1, 2. We're testing the microphone in the Switch 2. We're going to go test. Check 1, 2. We're testing the microphone in the Switch 2. So you can see it's pretty echoey, right? Now, I'm going to try not pulling down my Switch 2. I have the USB camera. It's plugged in, but I'm going to have to get a little closer so I don't pull my Switch 2 down on the floor. That would not be good. And I'm going to test this one. So I'm going to switch it, and we're going to see. It's going to sound a little bit different. I'll do it back-to-back maybe after, but let's see. I put it to the USB OBS bot one. It's not going to sound great, but let's try it. Okay, for some reason the camera had turned itself off, so now it's back on, so it's going to work. Okay. Check 1, 2, check. Testing the USB microphone, whatever. I'm close to it. Check 1, 2, check. Testing the USB microphone, whatever. Now, you can tell it sounds better. It doesn't sound great because, admittedly, the microphone on this little, like, USB camera is not great. But if you do hear them back to back, you'll see that it sounds significantly better. We're going to go test. Check 1, 2. We're testing the microphone in the Switch 2. Check 1, 2. Check. Testing the USB microphone, whatever. So you can see that obviously the one on the USB camera sounds a lot better. It does not sound great on this camera, but the point being is you can get all kinds of other USB microphones and use a microphone that's going to sound a little bit better. Now the question is, will Nintendo release something in the future? Maybe, who knows? But still kind of weird that, you know, with the headphone jack on the Pro controller anyways, that there's no way to kind of, you know, have a microphone on the controllers. I think the microphone would have been better on the Joy-Cons, but maybe there would have been some issues with how the Joy-Cons were built, and then the Joy-Cons probably would have cost even more than they already do. Anyway, so that's probably why they didn't go down that route. But a wireless microphone would be nice if there was like a USB like receiver, and then you could have it in front of like your mouth, because again, you know, when you use the Switch 2 console, if it's not really close, and even then it's sort of echoey, so it's not great. Let me try one last thing. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on camera, but I have this USB-C to USB-A adapter. I want to see if it'll register it if I plug it, this camera, into the USB-A port on the dock itself on the Nintendo Switch 2. So let me try that really quick. So it says now using USB-C microphone, so it actually works either way. So again, I'll just to confirm, go back to the audio settings down here. Where are they? Audio settings. And again, you can see it's using it. If I go down to the input, again, it's using, and it's plugged in USB-A. Now, again, it's the same camera, yes, but what I'm using is an adapter to change the cable from a USB-C. So I'm not plugging it directly into the top of my Nintendo Switch 2. I'm plugging it into the side of the USB-A port on the Nintendo Switch 2 dock itself. So what that means is you can use either one. If you have a USB-A kind of connector, you can use that for a microphone, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a USB-C connection. So that's one way to do that. But that makes me also wonder, could you use a USB-A webcam? I might have one kicking around. Let me try. Hold on. Okay, so I found one. I actually got this old USB-A connection. Logitech, I think it's like a C920 camera. Let me plug it in on the side of the dock and see if it registers as a camera or a microphone. Okay, so I have it plugged in. I'm holding it in my hand. Thankfully, the cable's long enough. What's crazy is it's registering, it says HD Pro Webcam C920. It's registering as like an input for the microphone. So if I go here, I can use this microphone as well. Let's see how this one sounds actually really quick. Let's test the microphone. Hold on here. Test 1 2, checking the microphone. Test 1 2, check. Test 1 2, checking the microphone. Test 1 2, check. Yeah, it's not great, right? But you can hear it sounds different than the other ones that we've tested. But here's the kicker. This one does work as a camera. So if I go to controllers and accessories, I can go down here. And again, you can see I'm holding it. So you're going to see as I turn this, it's going to move on screen. Where is it here? Sorry, I'm losing it. There, test USB-C. If I update, it says no Nintendo Switch 2 cameras plugged in, because it's true, there's none. But if I test it, boom, look, it's working. And again, I'm moving my camera, right? I'm wiggling it up and down, moving it, and it works. And it looks really good. You know, and this is a 1080p camera as well. The question is, will all the tracking and stuff, will all those features work just as well? Maybe. That's probably like a software thing anyways, not necessarily a camera thing. I do wonder if there would be any advantages or disadvantages from using the one that comes from Nintendo, the Nintendo branded one, versus this. But then Hori also has their own, but again, those are licensed still. So I wonder if there's something, you know, that would be different about those. I don't see that being the case, but the only games that I can think of that would use a camera right now is Mario Party, and that's not till like July 24th, I believe. So we can't test that out. Maybe we'll have to come back to this video and test that out then to see if there's any difference with, like, you know, tracking multiple people or whatever. But for now, you could just go get a cheap USB-C microphone or USB-A microphone, and you can just use that. Again, I'm using the Logitech. It looks great. So, I mean, there you guys have it. What do you think of that? I mean, I think that's pretty cool that you can use other cameras and microphones via the USB port. And it doesn't have to be USB-C. It does not have to be plugged in directly into the Switch 2 via USB-C unless you want to play it in handheld mode. You can just plug it into the dock like I'm doing with this one, USB-A, and that'll work as well. So The more you know, huh? The more. I'm glad we made this video and tested it out. Well, let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments section below. Go ahead, if you have USB-C microphones and cameras, test them out yourself. Let us know in the comments section. Maybe we can compile a list of all the ones that, you know, a bunch of us in the Nintendo community are testing out and see, you know, which ones work and don't work. So definitely, if you try any other ones out, leave a comment down below and let us know which microphone and or camera worked for you. But again, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Again, the more you know. If you have a USB camera kind of kicking around, go ahead and try it out. Chances are it'll probably work. There is a chance that it might just register as a microphone like that other one, which is weird because that is a 4K. Maybe that's why it doesn't work, by the way, because it's a 4K camera while this one is a 1080p camera. That is something to consider. I don't know. But anyways, we learned something and there's still more to learn. So let me know your thoughts. Leave a like, subscribe for more. Until the next one. Game on. See you guys later.